Hello and welcome to FPL Neutral. This is my final team selection video for Gameweek 4 in FPL. And spoiler alert, I might be taking my first -4 hit of the season, so watch till the end to find out. It's been a long international break, and we're all itching to get back to the Premier League and FPL, and it's time to get back to the groove of things. So let's jump right in. If you like the content on this channel, please leave a like on this video. And if you want to follow my team for the rest of the season, do subscribe to the channel. So let's first take a look at how I did in Game Week 3. I already did a couple of videos in my channel in the last week, and in the first one I already went through how I did. I had a good week with 67 points, so might as well look at it again, right? So 67 points was really good. I'm into the top 1 million now. That feels good, seeing a lot of other ranks from a lot of content creators as well. So it's been a decent start for me in FPL this year. A lot of luck involved as well. Like all 3 weeks, my captain made an injury time return, so that's, I think, definitely lucky start. Let's look at who got me the points, right? I think Saturday was a great start with both Chelsea boys returning for me. Sanchez with a slightly lucky clean sheet, but that's a second return now, so happy to have him there. João Pedro seems to be a great one of the great players of this FPL so far, and everyone's clamoring to get him in. So I'm glad to have him from game week 1 in this. So 9 points again from him. Didn't get the penalty. Disappointing that he didn't take the penalty, but I think anyway once Palmer's back soon, he won't have penalties anyway. But he looks really good for Chelsea at the moment. Bruno Fernandes finally turns up after missing the penalty in game week 2. Got last minute penalty once again, and he took it. And this is why you have him, right? He's a 90-minute player on penalties, all that. So happy to have that 10-pointer and doubled into 20. And then Sunday was a bit disappointing with a few. I think the Spurs boys, of course, Pedro Porro came in with a late defensive contribution with 4 points there. So that was also nice to have a late addition there. Disappointments, you could say Murillo once again. The Forest defense concedes and they get thrashed by West Ham even. So another disappointing outing for them, not even close to DEFCON there. So he's on the chopping blocks, and Ange Postecoglou is now at Forest. So Forest defense is not having great prospects, but they do have good fixtures. So let's see. Reinders blanks, it's okay at that price that you'll expect that it's 2 blanks in a row, but I'm sure he'll do well with a lot of injuries that City have. I'm sure he'll still come good. Watkins again are probably the biggest disappointment of the team this season. Villa have not clicked at all. They have not scored a single goal yet. So at 9 million, that's a lot of money invested in your team. So another disappointing outing. Now the after all that, the final game on Sunday in game week 3, the Crystal Palace game, it's what really saved me again and give me a big jump in my rank. Sarr and Lacroix combined for the third goal. Sarr scoring, Lacroix assisting. Lacroix got the clean sheet. Almost got DEFCON as well. Lacroix, I think he missed it out by 1. Unfortunately, Sarr got injured afterwards, but as that was a great points haul for me and into the top 1 million that way. Rodon on my bench got 7 points, right? Almost thought of playing him actually. So they've got 2 clean sheets, Leeds in the first 3 games. So this is my team, 67 points. Now let's look at how I'm looking in game week 4, right? So there are a lot of managers world over try and play their wild card and all that. So, but I think my team looks good. I like how the team is generally shaping up. The Sarr injury was very frustrating to get. He had Sunderland at home this week, man. That was the money fixture. You wanted him for that, and it was unfortunate that he looks injured. But the latest news is that he may not be out for too long. So let's see. Now let's start from the back. Now playing Sanchez, Brentford away is easy choice. Dubravka on my bench is playing Liverpool, so hopefully Sanchez gets another clean sheet, so easy choice there. The defense line the fixtures look really great, right? You have Lacroix playing Sunderland at home, hopefully another clean sheet, hopefully DEFCON maybe. You have Anderson playing Leeds at home. Leeds haven't really clicked attacking wise. They do have some injuries as well, so hoping for another clean sheet. Anderson, who's been a DEFCON monster so far, but you may not get that in a easier game like Leeds at home, but still you're hoping for that clean sheet for Fulham. So definitely a good fixture to have him. Pedro Porro against West Ham away may not necessarily be a clean sheet fixture but I think it's time for Porro to get that attacking return finally, right? He's got the clean sheets in the first 2 games. He got DEFCON in the third game. So he's actually been consistent, but he's not got the big haul that we paid that 5.5 extra for Pedro Porro, right? Over the other Spurs defenders. So hopefully against West Ham, he can with all the new signings at Spurs. I think I'm happy to have Pedro Porro there playing West Ham. So the back line looks good. Murillo on the bench playing Arsenal away, easy benching decision there. Rodon with a slight yellow flag, so I think he's we don't not sure when he'll be back. So that affects my bench boost plans down the line. I was thinking of game week 5 maybe, but that's okay. I can bench boost. I can postpone it to any time. So easy benching decision. So the defense looks solid for this week. So I'm not looking at any transfers in my defense. Now let's look at the midfield. Let's look at the easy ones out there. Mo Salah playing Burnley away is my captain, no doubt about it. I know he had a slightly disappointing game against Arsenal. He wasn't very involved in the attack, it seemed like. But it's Mo Salah. He's you all the check boxes. He plays 90, has penalties, playing against a promoted team, possibly the worst team in the league right now, Burnley. Although it is away, so easy captaincy choice there. Kudus playing West Ham. I think Spurs will do well. They did they were disappointing against Bournemouth, but I think Kudus, hopefully he can get an assist. I know he doesn't have too much goal threat, but with Javi Simons coming in, Kolomuani coming in, I think hopefully the Spurs attack clicks better and Kudus gets me those attacking returns. West Ham defense can be got at for sure. I'm happy to pay Reinders at home to Man United. I think City, with all the injuries they have, Marmoush is out, Cherky is out. So I think Reinders will again get that slightly advanced role, right? So I think hopefully he can attack the box, crash into the box, and get one of those goals that he did so well in game week 1. So happy to have Reinders. Bruno Fernandes is playing City away, not the best fixture, and he's playing Chelsea in game week 5. So actually, when you look at it, next batch of 2 games, it's not the best fixture for United. So he is at 9 million. I'm sure he'll tick along over time, and the analytics loves and the models love Bruno Fernandes. He's always the baseline of DEFCON, which he hit once again last time was great, which I forgot to mention. He hit DEFCON again in game week 3. But I just feel there is a slight. I wouldn't go there on a wild card, you could say, if you're on Bruno Fernandes with the fixtures next over the next 2. So that's but it's okay for now. I might be considering selling him. You can watch the transfer plans later in this video. Now, Sar is the unfortunate injury against Sunderland at home. The latest update is that it's not as bad as feared. I'm sure he's not ready for game week 4. But if he's not out for too long, right? I think if it's just for like a 2 game weeks or like max 3 game weeks, I might still consider keeping him. But of course, there are a lot of midfield options you can go for, and I'll show you my different parts of my transfers that I can use. But if I'm okay benching him, if I make my transfers in a way where I'm okay, I have enough cover for the next 2-3 weeks, and Sar might be back by then, I don't mind it, because I think the Crystal Palace attack will do well, and he's a really big part of it. And I'm sure he'll do well in that team. And they do have okay fixtures going forward. Although the next 2 are the best 2, Sunderland and West Ham. But still, let's see what news more we get before deadline. So, and then moving on to the forwards, João Pedro again, absolute lock in my team. I think he can be a long-term keep in the team until Chelsea have fantastic fixtures starting from game week 9 onwards. But even until then, good fixtures. It's a solid. I think he looks like to be the talisman of the team now when Palmer's absent. So it's easy choice to have João Pedro there. Watkins playing Everton away. Now Watkins is another very disappointing year so far. So many people selling him. Nobody, even with the fixtures coming up, they're playing both Sunderland and Burnley in the next 4. Even with that, hardly anybody going on wildcard. Villa has just been that disappointing, right? I think, but maybe with the new signings, Harvey Elliott is coming, so maybe they can start clicking. I'm sure it's not that bad a team, right? It's Unai Emery, and they're possibly a top 8 team. Then they're in Europe and everything. So I'm sure Watkins will come good. I'm not looking to sell him this week. Everton away is okay. So Everton defense hasn't been that great. I think Branthwaite is injured as well. So I think Watkins is not a priority sell for me, given I have other issues in the team. So I'm okay with the forward line. Mark Guiu on my bench is a problem now, actually, because when he was at Sunderland, you could always rely on maybe getting some minutes. If not starting, it was okay. If you wanted to play your bench boost, I think you could still expect him to get some minutes. But now he's moved back to Chelsea, and not only is he blocking a third Chelsea spot for me, like if I wanted to go back to Palmer's or maybe Enzo or a second defense or somebody, he blocks that path right now, and he's not really going to get much minutes when João Pedro is there. So it's a problem in my team, right? If I wanted to, so I am looking at upgrading that spot. So let's see what options I have in the striker. So this is my team for this week. Now let's look at what transfer plans I have. Now before that, I just wanted to go through one graphic from Rob T FPL. I think he's the king of data, market odds data in the FPL community. I think most people follow him. You can follow him on Twitter at DropTFPL. He gave me permission to do this. I was so happy that he replied to my message, first of all. So from Solio Analytics, so what this shows is the next 6 game weeks, the best attacks, right? The most projected goals for which team over the next 6 weeks. Now let's it give us an idea, because I'm not looking at defensive transfers this week. I'm looking at attacking transfers. So let's look at goals specifically. Now Liverpool are on top, and they have actually quite a decent lead. You can see the first two fixture 2.4, 2.2 projected goals over the next two, and then even in game week 8 and 9, they have over 2 projected goals. So I think Liverpool look really good attacking projection wise, right? But I'm happy to have Mo Salah there, but a lot of people on wildcard, they might be going for a second option. I think people going on free hit this week, it's a great option to buy Ekitike or Gakpo for this week, because they're going to play this week, because I don't think Isaac's ready yet. But once Isaac comes later, I think could he be the pick to go for? I think he is expensive, but could he be that option for Liverpool if you're going away from Salah? Can Isaac be enough from that attack? So going with just Salah for this actually feels slightly light for me, and I actually considered Cody Gakpo as an option this week to bring in my midfield, because I think, first of all, I think he's played 90 minutes in all 3 games so far. I think Slot really rates him, and I think he will start on that left wing. So I think Ekitike will be the one who will be affected mostly by Isaac, say, but there's always going to be a doubt, right? With Gakpo, I feel with Sar's injury already on me, uh, do I really go for an option where there is possibly a transfer waiting to happen down the line if it doesn't play? But it feels like a short-term attacking move. If you're feeling aggressive, I do feel the Gakpo move. Now, next up is City. Again, the next two are okay, but game week 6 is where you really want your City attack, right? Look at that 2.9, 2.1, 2.1. That's why you want Haaland. Looks like the best captaincy option in all those weeks. Now, is there a path to? I think everyone should look at paths to see if you can get Haaland, whether it be by a free hit in that game week 6, whether it be by transfer in game week, maybe instead of Salah. There are ways, and there is the upside in bringing Haaland in. So let's see. I'll show you some paths later. Arsenal attack, it's third, and I don't have any Arsenal player in my entire team, and that feels very light again. So it's a good entry point at Nottingham Forest at home, with an Ange Nottingham Forest, like sort of a manager-less Nottingham Forest, because they haven't had time to bed in. So I think there's a great entry point for Gyökeres, and that is somebody I've been really eyeing up. I think Gyökeres is a player I've admired and I really want in my team. I like the story, that I like the attitude of the player. I know he's had a couple of not so great games, but he did score 2 goals against Leeds, and I think the Arsenal attack is going to click, right? I think they are going to push for that. And I think it's a decent entry point. I know the next two after this week is not that great, but from 7 onwards, it's a great fixture run. So I do want to try and get Gyökeres early, from and for the as a long-term keep. Now, who else? I think Chelsea, of course, have decent numbers. So happy to keep my Chelsea player until and game week 9 and even onwards, because they have great fixtures. Then Spurs, of course, have good fixtures. So I do have Kudus. I'm okay with that. I think Javi Simons could be a good option later as well. Newcastle, we just don't know who's gonna be the pick there, right? We don't know the 2 new strikers who's gonna get most minutes. Gordon suspended, so can't really go there. Villa are actually not bad, so that's why I'm okay keeping Watkins, because of the fixtures you see. So I'm okay keeping the Watkins spot until, if he blanks for the next couple of weeks, I might look to move him to Haaland in game week 6. So that's the plan right now. So let's 2 more weeks. Watkins is in my team. United in 8th. So there are a few options. Of course, Bruno Fernandes over the next couple are not great, 1.2, 1.5. But that game week 7 fixture against Sunderland is tasty. Mbumo looks like a decent option as well. So I might be considering Mbumo later down the line. Let's see. Bournemouth in 9. I think Semenyo has been the pick of the season so far. I think he's been the most informed and most solid pick to have. I think the next fixtures look good. He's generally somebody who plays well at home, and they have uh, 4 home games in the next 5. I think, and the away games are against Leeds. So it just looks a solid set of fixtures for him to work into. And beyond that, I don't think I'm looking at anybody as an attacking option. I think Crystal Palace have been downgraded, I think, because of the injuries as well. So now let's see who are the players I really want to buy. So now I have a few transfer paths that I want to show all of you. So now the first options are, if I just use my free transfer. Now I have one free transfer going into this. I have 3.2 million in the bank. Now if I have to use my just the one free transfer, what are the problems I have? I can upgrade my GU spot. I said it's a problem. It's a Chelsea spot I want to get rid of. I have the money to go directly to Mateta. Mateta has a great entry point at Sunderland at home this week, but I just don't feel that the Palace attack will click as much as you want, because they've lost Eze, they've lost Sar to injury. I think Wharton in midfield is out with injury. The new signing Jeremy Pino is not fully fit as well. So it just feels like Palace are very light in their attack. And I know Mateta is the talisman, and if they score, he should be the most likely. But I just feel like in long term, I don't until Sar comes back, I just don't not too convinced by this move, but it's still a decent move. It's still, if I don't have to use any hit, I fix a spot in my team. It's a good entry point, all that. Now, another option I can do is to fix my Sar position, right? Because in the first move, I would have to bench Sar and but if you hear that Sar is out for a little longer term, which I'm not sure if he is. I can just do the Semenyo move, right? Directly go from Sar to Semenyo. I think Semenyo is the most solid buy you can have. I think highly owned. I think getting shots by the plenty, and uh, good home fixtures. I know the next fixture is Newcastle. It's not great, but Newcastle are going to be playing right after playing Barcelona in the Champions League, so they might be tired from that. So it's a solid option to have, either to use these two plans as with my free transfer. But I'm feeling a little aggressive, right? Maybe it's because my rank is in the top million, maybe, but I feel like I can fix multiple spots within my team with two moves. Of course, that means taking a -4 hit for the first time this season. But what can I fix here? So what if now? Which is the player I just said like I really want? I want Gyökeres. Now the first option is to fix the both the players, that is Giu and Sar in my team. I can go directly from Giu all the way to Gyökeres, and of course to make that money, I'll have to downgrade Sar to, I just have 5.3 in the bank, and I can go to somebody like a Dewsbury Hall at 5 million. But then do I? It's a great move to get Gyökeres, but Dewsbury Hall, do I really want him in my team right now? I think they have Liverpool away in game week 5. They have placed, I think, City in game week 8. Although the fixtures between that are okay, and I'm sure he'll tick along. He's a Everton look good, but I just feel like I want to go for a team that is clicking more. And I wanted to look at where if I there are ways in which I can get Semenyo. Now the last move I want to show you is actually the one I am most inclined towards. Is a little aggressive. Is that going with Giu and selling Bruno Fernandes, who has a tough run of couple of fixtures, for a hit to Gyökeres and Semenyo. And I'll have zero point 0.4 million in the bank after this. So in this, I get to fix I get to bring in two players who are at a good entry point with Gyökeres and Semenyo. Of course, selling a player like Bruno Fernandes for a hit doesn't feel great, but I just feel like the next two fixtures I can take him on. I think wildcard is not going to have him, uh, so this fixes two of my spots. Of course, this means that I'm still going to keep my injured Sar on my bench and still taking a -4 hit. But I just feel the team looks really good set up for the next few game weeks with this. It's a little aggressive, and it's something I feel like I want to do in my team. Now, I'll just show you how this paths look. Right? So the path D, I did consider instead of Semenyo Gakpo as well. So I'll show you that path as well. Now I'm just going to show you some freestyle browsing on FPL team, the great website if you want to do future planning in FPL. You can set your team and see how it looks for the next many weeks. Now let's look at this move. So that what I just mentioned is Giu. We go up to Gyökeres, and then to fund that we do Bruno Fernandes down to a Semenyo. Now that means I have zero point 0.4 million in the bank. Now, of course, you'll be benching Sar for Gyökeres. You'll be bringing in Anderson, of course, who will be playing instead of Murillo, and then you're of course captain Salah to make that accurate. Of course, you vice captain Gyökeres. Now, this team looks good in game week 4. Of course, you're taking a hit there. Now, how does this team look in game week 5? Now, the defense once again looks decent. Reinders playing Arsenal away looks like the tough fixture, and you can easily bring him out. For Murillo, who's playing Burnley away. I know it's Forest defense, but Burnley away is still the best Burnley is still the best fixture in the league, right? So it's a four-man defense. I don't mind. I think it's good fixtures for most of them. You have Salah again, captain at Everton. You have the Watkins playing in Sunderland. Hopefully, he can return then. Again, you're okay keeping Sar there, so you're the team is affording me to keep Sar on the bench for a couple of weeks, and if he comes back early, West Ham away is a great fixture, and you can just play him. But I don't. I can roll the transfer in this week, so I can have the two transfers into game week 6, where it's that big Haaland week, right? Now, at this point, if Watkins hasn't still performed very well, and I feel Haaland is the guy to go for, what can I do? I can just go Watkins all the way to Haaland, and now Salah can come down to any midfielder with 9.7. I have 9.7 in the bank. Now it could be the yeah, I have, yeah, if you downgrade Salah, you have 9.7. I'm looking at maybe one of the United midfielders again. If not Bruno, I am very keen on someone like an Mbumo, who's playing his former team, Brentford, in game week 6. So I'm sure he'll do well. Reinders playing Burnley at home can be brought in as well instead of Lacroix, who's going to play Liverpool. Again, now the team looks good. Now you can go to game week 7, and the team looks pretty decent once again. You can bring back your Crystal Palace players to play in your defense. Now this is the week where Arsenal fixtures get really good, right? And you want one of their defense. Now Murillo, who's been, you want to get rid of the Nottingham Forest players, of course, and now instead of Murillo, you can just go into the Arsenal defense. You still have 1 million in the bank if you want to change your plans. Mbumo has Sunderland at home. That's a great fixture. Of course, my captain will still be Haaland in Mbumo. So uh, the team looks really good, right? And if Sarr is back by then to play Everton at home, you can just play him instead of João Pedro, who's playing Liverpool. So I really like this path in general. So I just want to show you one other path where it's the Gakpo draft, where instead in the same move, instead of going Semenyo, you go to Gakpo. Okay, I think that's, yeah. There you go. So the same move, that is, I move from Giu to Gyökeres, and instead of Semenyo, I go Gakpo, attack the immediate fixtures of Burnley, and then the next fixture of Everton. So it feels strong to go for double Liverpool when they have those two really good fixtures. And in game week 6, the same move, when you go to Haaland from Watkins, instead of bringing in Mbumo, you can just bring Semenyo there at that point where he's playing Leeds. So it's a great entry point for Semenyo as well. So you still have Gakpo. The only issue is Gakpo could be an issue down the line, right? Because I already have a Sarr issue I have to deal with. Now Gakpo, will he lose minutes? It'll be an aggressive move and something I might have to deal with later, but it just it's something I'm considering and something I could be doing by the end of the week. So I have 2 more days to decide. So what do you think of these moves? So do let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions. So thank you so much for watching, and have a great week to all. See you soon.